Hello and welcome to Leash Dad's podcast. That's Justin.
And this is my current constant co-host, Jared.
We are two Leash Dads that get together to discuss our everyday lives while change our parental responsibilities. And tonight it is snowing. We are under a winter storm warning, and it's not terrible.
As we record this for you.
It's not terrible out there by us. South is getting nailed a lot worse than we are, but it's still like nonstop. I mean, it's been snowing since 8 o'clock this morning, just not as heavy kind of thing. So I originally had been planning to go out there and do my first round after work, but after looking at like the 2 inches, I was like, really? No, I'm good. It can wait till tomorrow morning. It's supposed to stop around midnight, which brought us to the topic today about what is the fatherly duties of being a Midwest winter, dad. What do we do?
Being a dad in the Midwest when it snows like hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. What do we do? Well, welcome to the Winter Bliss, where Daddy Justin just came up with a new game, drink every time he fucks up. So when I fucked up saying constant co-host Jared, I had to take a drink.
That's totally fine.
I'd probably just drink the rest of the time anyways, because I'm thirsty.
Is it alcohol or is it some sort of...
it's a daddy drink.
Oh, okay.
It's a daddy drink.
Yeah, it's funny that, we kind of are on the same plane right now. I originally had been wanting to stick with my, Monday through Friday, no alcohol. But you know what? Damn it. A beer just sounded to hit the spot, and
one beer a night's not going to kill you.
No. And if I just stick to beer, one or two, I'll be fine to do the snow in the morning. Which, topic number one, I did see on one of the news feed, or not news feeds, but on my chat history with work. I work with a lot of other women and not a lot of other guys. And the guys I do work with are younger and have apartments. So they were going on and on today about, yeah, I don't have to do any snow because I live in an apartment. I don't even actually know what a shovel is. Ha 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 ha. And they said, I live in a house full of guys. I don't have to do anything with the snow. And I just like made this unamused little emoji. It's like, screw you guys. I'm going home.
I'm done. See ya.
You all suck. No, I'm just kidding. But no, home ownership in the city, especially in the country where you probably have to plow your shit. But that's my job, and I applaud my wife and daughters for taking initiative sometimes when I'm either busy at work or they just have free time and they do it. But in a situation like this, it's usually dad's job to get up super early before school, before work, and take care of the snow. Mm-hmm. I like to do it in the morning when it stops. I'm one of those people who, if we're expected to get over 5, then I'm going to do 2, turns with the shovel and the snowblower. But if it's under 5, I'm just going to wait until it stops. I mean, the mailman can write me naughty notes all he wants. They haven't done that in like 3 years, but it just depends on the carrier too. I mean, just who gets ticked off that there's an inch of snow on the ground, So, what does your household do for snow removal?
I'm the one that does it all.
Yep.
And I should say I'm the one that does the majority of it. There was one day where the wife went outside and shoveled a little bit of the snow away, but she only focused on like the steps and everything, or the stoop. Not so much everything else. It's one of those things. It's funny that you mentioned like coworkers that are living in apartments or whatnot, and how they've never really met a thing called a shovel. Bet you they don't even know where to go for Home Depot and to find one. But I don't just shovel my own area all the time either. Like I will.
Oh, that's nice.
Because it's kind of like my neighbors, we live close to each other and everything. So there's been one time where I've gone over to my neighbor's house and helped him shovel. There's other time where I've helped my next door neighbor. I'll shovel his like driveway too a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially like right where the skirt, um, because I know that well recently when we had a lot of snow too, I didn't shovel my skirt at all. I just kind of let it pack up, and then all of a sudden the plows came by, and I was just too lazy not to shovel it.
Oh,
So I just started packing it down, which I really don't care, but um, I'll help him shovel his skirt or sometimes the driveway. I'll shovel his sidewalk and his steps and everything like that too. So as a dad, I feel like it's my responsibility to just shovel everything. And make sure that there's a nice walkway. Salting is another thing. Haven't had to do much salt this year, thankfully.
yeah.
Uh,
Knock on wood.
yeah, knock on wood, exactly. But um, that's I think that's the biggest part of winter is just making sure that the walk area or the driveway is shoveled and clear. Eventually, it'll be nicer when I actually am able to use my garage and don't have to worry about parking the cars in the middle of the driveway.
Yeah.
I can get it all in one fell swoop. Um, but I'm not a, honestly, I'm not a fan of snow blowers. I mean, I have one kind of sitting in my backyard right now. I've used it maybe once, but that was like a long time ago. And it just, it was one of those things that just kind of died on me. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'd rather
Uh,
stick with shoveling anyways, just because I don't have to worry about starting and stopping or whatnot and everything like that. So snowblowing is not a bad thing by all means. It makes life easier, especially during the heavy snow. But most of the snow recently has been light enough to
yeah.
do it. So
I I love. I mean, I don't love my snowblower because it's old, and I kind of need it when there's a certain amount. There's a certain total on the ground. I do have a long driveway. It's
mhm.
it can get pretty hairy with a shovel, but with my back issues, and I don't have like the proper ergonomic shovel to do it. I should probably invest in one, but Christ, aren't they like $50 or something like
I
that?
have I have no idea. I just use the
Yeah,
crappy shovels that I've always had.
yeah, yeah. So if I were a millionaire, I'd probably pay somebody to do it. But if I were a little bit more well off, I would definitely invest in a nicer snowboard because, like you said, if it's well, actually, if the snow is heavy, my snowboarder will not work. It will not
Mm,
throw the snow. It'll just clunk up and gum up the system.
yeah, being that
So
old.
yeah, the horsepower's not there.
Yeah,
So I don't
it
even
was
know
at
how
one
old
point.
that damn thing is. It's got to be like 20.
Was it like a hand me down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my father gave it to me when I moved in, and he got it from somebody who bought it new locally. I
Mm,
want to say in like 2014. So yeah, it'd be
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's 11 years old right there.
11. Yeah, not 20.
But well, I mean, who knows? I've got my neighbor. He's got a snowblower that's ancient, basically, and it still functioned well. It throws the snow just fine, but he also takes very good care of it too.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the space and the time, I would definitely do more with mine for sure. I mean, it needs an oil change, it needs a few other parts and stuff, but I don't have the space for that. So, or really the time to dedicate to it. I mean, I guess I could in the summertime kind of refurbish it, but I do like oil it up every year. I
Yeah.
do empty the gas every year. Um, I do take care of it, just not to the point where it should be. I don't know. But if you
Gotcha.
take care of them, they
Yeah.
last forever.
Well, they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll last as long as you take care of it. So,
The engine
no, I
will last
think.
longer than the actual machinery
Yeah.
itself, though, which rusts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the biggest thing during the winter is just who's going to handle all the shoveling, right, or the snow removal.
Do your
Um,
kids help at all?
sometimes like earlier today. Well, before recording this episode here for you folks, I did go outside and shovel, and a couple of my children came outside, and they wanted to play in the snow, which is fine. But the concept of actually helping is one thing. They just wanted to play outside, and I really don't care. But they both had shovels, so um, they were using them to throw snow around a little bit here and there, throwing snow up the van, and everything like that. But yeah, they did a little bit. They did their little help by keeping themselves entertained and shoveling my well snow off the grass onto this driveway again.
I have that issue as well. It's like, no, we take the snow off of the sidewalk, not on. And don't traipse through your snow pile and drag it all on the sidewalk again. That defeats our purpose.
Yep. But hey, I don't get too mad at them just because I know they're
Yeah.
just out there to have fun and whatnot. But yeah, it's a good time. Oh, I think that's another big thing during snow season or the winter, right? Um, building building snow things like snowmen or snow forts. When you have the snow, it's kind of like a dad. I'd say it's a dad responsibility to help the kids, especially if they want to have something really cool like a cave or some kind of like tunnel.
You have to
I've done
have a
that.
good amount of snow for that.
Oh yeah, and even in the past too. Like if we still get a good amount of snow, we will still take snow from other sections of the um. We'll use all of this snow from the sidewalk or in the driveway. Um, but even like the way our houses are lined up, my neighbor and I, we put our snow in the middle between our driveways and everything, where we have like grass strip. Um, but we will use that. He's snowplowed that stuff over into like my little square patch of grass,
Okay.
and we piled snow up there, and just so we had enough, and we started building like a tunnel.
Okay.
Like I mean, granted, I wish the snow mound was bigger and everything, just because who wants a bigger snow mound and a bigger tunnel and whatnot? But it's fun. But it only happens when there's enough snow, like you said. So
I suck at
I think
building
that's another.
snowmen. I mean, I feel bad for my daughter. She tried to get me to do it, but I couldn't. And it has to be a certain amount of snow. It has to be a certain type of snow,
Yep.
and if it's not any of those, you're kind of effed. But leave that up to a 6-year-old to determine that.
Yeah.
She
I
ended up
mean,
making a nice one, but yeah, I couldn't.
nice. I love doing that. It's good when they want to do that, and then you find the materials to actually help them finish building, like the carrots and the coal and the sticks. So
Yeah, we might actually have a lot of snow coming up here. We're supposed to get some Friday and
yep.
this weekend, so we might have some good turnout for some forts because I love forts. I've always loved building forts, especially growing up in the late '90s, early 2000s. With the kids,
Mm-hmm.
come inside when we call you, and it's like 8:30. Okay, got to get ready for ready for bed for school, and it was always dark, so we always used to play on the banks in
Yep.
right off the road because that's where it was the
Yes.
highest. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I
remember doing
wouldn't let
that.
my
We used
kids
to
do
build
that
like a
now.
little tunnel. Um, I actually kind of would let my kids do that just because we have that curb or that little step where the plows they don't necessarily touch, right? They will shovel the snow into the skirt basically, and they'll clog it, block me, cock block me essentially. Um, but they'll plow it into the skirt and make my driveway a living hell to get out of, and I'll just shovel all that shit back onto like my grass patch or strip that they have there, and I'll let the kids play over there.
Okay.
I tell them they still need to be careful in case like cars or anything do come by because they don't want to slide down it. They'll sometimes slide down into the road or whatnot. Um, but I'll let them play there because that's really where the snow likes to pile up during the winter too. Is right at that corner where my driveway meets the patch of grass and everything. Um, so yeah, it's not like they're doing anything wrong. They just have to remember to be careful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, to end it out, do you put your kids in like the full gear every time they go out when it's stuff like this? Snow pants,
when they
boots, mittens,
when
hats.
they want to play, I will always make sure that we always make sure that they are fully loaded or fully suited up because obviously I want them to be able to enjoy the outside and play for a
Yeah.
bit rather than all of a sudden wear a sweatshirt and pants or whatnot and be going inside 5 minutes into their adventures in the snow. So I, on the other hand, not so much. I do kind of when I get ready, since I don't actually have a snowsuit or anything,
Me
I will
neither.
kind of double. I'll double down on some clothes.
Mm.
Like I'll put like two pairs of pants on or something like that. Um, Obviously my boots, but I'll still find like my winter jacket, put my coat on, or put the coat on over. Fuck, I can't speak. There's a drink. But over my sweatshirt, wear my hat, wear some gloves, things like that. Still try to set a good example for the kids as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. I mean, like you said, you don't have a snowsuit either, so I assume you do the same thing. Just get everybody dressed up.
Yep. I am either a long underwear and jeans, or if it snows and then the temperature drops massively, long underwear, pajama pants, and jeans. Otherwise, it's usually just pajama pants and jeans, and then hat, gloves for myself, and then I have a ridiculously warm jacket too. But
Nice.
that always like builds up so much sweat. Not to get gross, fuck it. But
You're not getting gross, but
the kids, they, even with school, they go out if there's any snow on the ground whatsoever. The school is like they have to have snow pants in order to play
mm-hmm.
on the field. Even if there's a light
Yeah,
dusting, they have to have snow pants. So that's a big thing in the morning too, is getting that all together right before they leave. But yeah.
yeah. No, that's crazy. So it makes sense. So do they? I mean, my kids have left their snow pants at school at this time. Like they brought it home during winter break, but then they just after they went back and took their snow pants and boots and things, they've left them at school.
I like that idea, but unfortunately, I think the school that they go to doesn't allow any overnight, because I don't think they'd fit in their locker. And even if they didn't wear in their locker, there's not enough air movement to like dry them out, so they'd stink
Mm,
and be wet in the locker. And I think they've had way too many instances in the past, especially when I went there, uh, of just moldy, mildewy lockers because there's not enough air movement,
mm,
especially when they're and the janitors don't want a bunch of lockers open and boots when they're trying to do the floors either at night. So I do
right.
like that idea that your school has, but no, unfortunately,
It,
at ours we can't leave anything out overnight.
I don't know if it's necessarily just the school allows it, but I know my kids used to bring their stuff home every day. I don't know if they just don't care anymore or whatnot, but because tonight when my son wanted to go outside and play in the snow, he's like, "Do we have any? Do you know where the extra snow pants are?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me go upstairs." Pulled out the extra ones. I'm like, "Sorry, but I don't have ones in your size."
Yeah.
He saw some ones that were like a lot smaller. We're talking a 7-year-old that wants to wear snow pants, and I pulled out a 4T. He puts it on. Sure, it's a little short in the legs and everything for him. He made him work. I told him, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to stop you, even though they're even though they're small on you. I'm not going to stop you. You want to go outside and play? Let's go outside and play." So I encouraged him to keep them on, even though he's like, "I will wear them. I don't care." I'm like, "That's fine. I'm not. I'm going to support your choice because you're getting away from electronics and everything like that." That's at least what I thought in my head. I'm like, At least you're not sticking to electronics all night. So kudos to you, kiddo. So yeah. So I
Love
don't
it.
know if the school necessarily loves when the kids keep their stuff there, but at the same time, they've never said, "Oh, you got to carry them to and from every day." So it's just one of those nice things. But yeah, that's all I got. It's winter. It's blissful. Um, Also, happy Valentine's Day to all you truckers that are, you know, taken. Or if you want to look at it this way, happy Singles Awareness Day to those that are not taken. But we'll see you all folks later. Enjoy. Have fun in this wintry bliss if you live in the Midwest. Ta ta.